Hey folks, we're going to jump right into the 5 things that we love about our Kia Telluride. The biggest, safety features. Look over this list. This isn't your first generation, maybe not even second generation list of safety features. And almost everything you see here is standard to start with on even the base model classes. So for us, that was a huge selling point. Now I'm a highly analytical person, so I took the time to actually put this together with what I would say was our top contenders. And if you take a quick look here, you can see the LX or S, and I did front wheel drive just because I know some people wouldn't do all wheel drive. The first thing you notice right off the bat is that in terms of price, you're already significantly below the starting MSRP. Then if you go across the board and look at what's standard versus what's an optional feature, you realize real quickly that most of the top competitors, including the Atlas, which advertises that they offer a lot of standard safety features, still aren't offering safety features at the same level as what you'd expect to get with the Kia Telluride. Now breaking this down trim level by trim level, obviously the Telluride LX and S start off with a ton of just safety features. I actually tested the Traverse at the Premier level, and so a lot of these features were actually there for me, and even a few more that aren't listed for the Traverse. However, going back and looking at it in terms of similar MSRPs, and actually you can see we started off a little bit higher with the Traverse LT, clearly you can see that standard, the Telluride just gives you a lot more for the money. Now with the Volkswagen Atlas, which I consider to be a real top contender, they did come with a lot of standard safety features, but really that's only if you went into the Atlas SE with technology. Once you got into that trim level, at that point I would say it was fairly comparable, except for the starting price at $39,500. And finally was the 2019 Ford Explorer XLT. I added in the Explorer XLT specifically because that would be the closest in terms of an MSRP. We were actually looking at the limited trim level, which would be in the $40,000 range easily. So going with the XLT at a starting MSRP of $34,400 and then adding in the Ford Safety and Smart package, I believe they call it, is what puts you at about $38,000. And that gets you to something that's comparable to a base level Telluride right off the bat. Next up on the list, the second row. Not just because we have the captain's chairs, because frankly, driving the S and the EX models, what I found was that the second row was actually quite comfortable. It didn't matter. And typically for us, whenever we test drove a vehicle that had a bench seat in the second row, it felt a little bit more firm, not as comfortable, and certainly not something I wanted to be in the back row for several hours. And now, although I feel like I'm repeating myself, at 6 feet tall, I mean, this is just absurd to have this much legroom and to be this comfortable. This may seem crazy to include this, but all the dang USB ports. And it's not really the USB ports, it's just the overall thought and consideration that seems to go into how this vehicle would be used. Simple little things like USB ports, but then a special little pocket just for holding your phone. Making sure there are plenty of USB ports so that even the adults aren't fighting over who's going to be able to charge their phone as you're driving down the road on a long trip. All the buttons, everything seemed to just be well positioned, and so frankly for us, I just think that's a huge plus. Comfort and convenience, to me, that's what luxury stands for. Now while a bold looking vehicle may not be what you want, to be honest, I wanted something that didn't look like the same vehicle everybody else is driving down the road. Nice 20-inch wheels, real bold styling, beautiful chrome accents. Really shocked with the paint colors. Love the black, but frankly I don't think there's a single one that looks bad. The badging itself looks nice. And then from the inside, everything just follows through. I don't know where you sit in this vehicle where you got a bad view.